Hi, welcome to Hot Chocolate Hits. I'm Medika, and today I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate decadence cake, also known as a flourless chocolate cake. Now, this cake is pretty easy to put together just because it only has like 4 ingredients for the actual cake part. And so I'm going to serve this with a raspberry coulis, or like kind of a raspberry sauce, and I think that complements the cake really, really well. And it's really delicious. So let's go over the ingredients so we can get started. You're going to need 3/4 cup of softened unsalted butter that's been chopped up, 4 whole eggs, half a cup of granulated sugar, 340 grams of semi-sweet chocolate, or also 12 ounces. I'm just using a combination of milk chocolate and dark chocolate. So I'm going to start off by melting the chocolate. I have here a pan with just a little bit of water that's been boiling, and on top of the pan I'm going to take a glass bowl, and to the glass bowl I'm going to add the butter and the chocolate. And I'm just going to melt this together until it's nice and smooth. And what happens here is the steam melts the chocolate. So make sure that when you're using the double boiler that the bottom of the bowl doesn't touch the water. So just melt the chocolate until it's nice and smooth, and then let it cool. So in the meantime, just crack the eggs into a bowl, add in the sugar, and you're just going to beat it with an electric beater until it's nice and fluffy, so about 8 minutes. So what you're looking for essentially is the eggs to become nice, pale, thick, and they should fall in a ribbon. And this is what you'll get after 8 minutes of beating with an electric mixer. It's nice and thick and foamy, pale yellow in color, and if you take your beater out, it falls in a continuous ribbon, like this. So now is the fun part. So I'm going to add a little bit of the egg mixture to the chocolate, and don't worry about seizing up because the chocolate has butter, so it most likely won't seize up. Just put that in and just kind of fold it in there. So once that's nice and incorporated, add the chocolate mixture to the egg mixture. It's playing hide and seek, see, because you can't see the chocolate. Ahaha, so funny. No, okay, never mind. And just fold that in again. The sun comes up from behind the clouds. That is so cliche. So I have a pan here, and first I greased it with some butter, and then I traced a circle on a piece of parchment paper. I cut it out and I put it on top of the butter, and then I just put some flour and kind of tossed it around. But I get that this is a gluten-free recipe, so if you do not eat flour, you can use cocoa powder. That totally works. I've done it before. I just had flour. I didn't have any cocoa. So now just pour the mixture into your prepared pan. This cake has the texture of a chocolate truffle, like a really, really rich, nice chocolate truffle. So when you put all the batter into your cake pan, it's a 9-inch circular cake pan, by the way. Just give it some taps to get rid of those air bubbles. You want it to be a nice, dense chocolate cake. Okay, so I have a kettle that has some boiling water in it, and I'm just taking this pan. It's slightly larger than the 9-inch pan, and I'm just gonna plop this in here. I'm gonna put the pan with the hot water bath into the oven. This is a 350 degree Fahrenheit oven, or 180 degrees Celsius oven. So just bake it for 45 minutes, and if you insert a toothpick, it's not going to come out clean, so don't do that. Let's get started on the raspberry sauce, or coulis. So for this you will need some raspberries. I'm using frozen. It's about 12 ounces of frozen raspberries. You can use fresh, and you can thaw them out too. I'm just not going to do that. You don't have to, it's not necessary. And I'm also going to add a couple of tablespoons of sugar. It's about a 1/4 cup. Now just put the lid on. And we're going to blitz this away till it's nice and smooth and resembles a sorbet. It resembles like a semi-frozen dessert, like a sorbet. So now this part is totally optional, but I'm just going to strain this mixture into a bowl so that it's a completely smooth sauce. So the sauce will thin out thin out as it gets more to room temperature. So now I'm just gonna cover it, and I'm gonna pop it in the refrigerator until I'm ready to serve the cake. So I took the cake out of the oven and I cooled it for 4 hours in the refrigerator covered. So I put some cling wrap or some foil and just pop it into the refrigerator overnight, whatever. And then when you're ready to take it out, just run a knife through the sides of the cake to loosen it. Tap it firmly just to release the cake from the pan. Flip. Easy cleanup. Now just peel this from the top. And what I like to do is, well, you can actually cover this with a chocolate ganache, but I like to kind of flip it over just like so. So something I like to do to kind of fancy it up is take a little bit of foil, cut it into strips. I'm using about 3 strips, and just place it on top of the cake, however you'd like to. And then in a sifter with some powdered sugar, just kind of sift the sugar on. And take the strips off carefully. Try to make the strips a little bit more neater because, as you can see, mine weren't completely straight. The cake is done. You can garnish it with some fresh berries, preferably raspberries. I don't have any fresh ones. And then when you serve it, just pour some raspberry sauce over the top. So I've plated a piece of the chocolate decadence cake. I'm just gonna put on the raspberry sauce right on the side. So now I'm gonna give it a taste. I served this yesterday at a dinner party and it was a big hit. Okay, get lots of the raspberry sauce. It's kind of in the middle of like a really dense chocolatey fudgy brownie and a chocolate truffle. And I think the raspberry sauce complements it very, very nicely because you have the sweet and you have the bitter and you have the tart. So it's a little bit of everything. If you like fruity desserts and if you like chocolate, then this is probably like the best recipe for you. It's pretty easy. There's not that many ingredients that go into it. And if you make it, I strongly recommend making the raspberry sauce because it's the best part. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy this recipe and I hope you try it out. If you do, let me know how it works out. Send me a few pictures. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.